Welcome to Wrocław, Poland for the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Up next, we bring you a matchup between Switzerland and Spain. Hello and welcome in this late morning start here in Wrocław. I'm Ralph Bednarczyk, joined by Lee Borko. Switzerland, the 10 seed. They lost a heartbreaking one-goal game yesterday to the hands of 7th-seeded France with an opportunity to get into the quarterfinal, the top 8. They lose it. Now they're battling Spain today, who is the 18 seed. Spain yesterday putting together their best performance, 13-5 over Croatia, in what was a little bit of an eye-opener talking to observers in the tournament. And now we get going here with the winner of this game taking on the winner between Scotland and Netherlands. That'll take place right around the same time. The loser takes on the loser of Scotland and Netherlands, now out of the consolation bracket as they try to play themselves up into 9th place, the highest possible finish now out of this championship, the consolation portion of the championship bracket. Very sunny conditions, hot conditions. It rained last night. Fortunately, this field held up just enough. It was slick over the top, but it's very dry underneath because of all the sun they had prior to about last week. Then it got cold for 5 days. And they've spent a lot of time working around the crease and also trying to fix the grass patches behind the goal to our right, which has been a bit of a trouble spot. But as expected, Lee Borko, this just comes with the territory when you're running on grass nonstop.
I walked across the field. It's a little wet, but it's in good condition. And now with the sun out, probably later in the day, it'll be a fast track.
On the drive on the face-off win, Switzerland with Casey Riolini, native Canadian from Toronto, through Team Ontario, starts the scoring off the Swiss face-off win from his brother Dano Riolini, and a beautiful start for the Swiss at 1-0.
For all the play we've had so far, the grass fields have held up really well. The face-off X is fine and a little bit around the goal, but not too bad.
It's field number 2 that we will see later on that got major damage at the face-off X with substantial puddles. And I know they've been spending a lot of time this morning to try to heal that, but you could always move the face-off X. That's a possibility. Face-off win for Damian Brandenberger, short stick D-made for Switzerland. And we're underway with a second consecutive possession for the Swiss. The Swiss on the attack with Casey Riolini, Thomas Geering, and David Bammert. And running the first midfield, Till Schutze with Aiden Nicholas and Dano Riolini. In goal, Paul Walter Diaz, who has announced to everybody he has faced the most shots out of anybody unofficially in this tournament. That comes with an asterisk because he has played about 97% of the minutes. A lot of teams have occasionally split their goalies. There's Casey Riolini, shot is wide. And we have a player down for Switzerland in David Bammert. And Bammert perhaps maybe pulling a muscle. Soft tissue injuries, Lee, I don't need to tell you about that as a former college basketball player. But as this tournament has gone on, the first question I have asked has been about the injury report to teams, players that are both playing and not playing, and the ones that are playing under nowhere close to 100% as this tournament, as usual, takes its toll.
Well, when you're playing so many games, so many consecutive days, you don't have any time. Even if it's a minor injury, you don't have any time to recover. But I'm definitely seeing the walking wounded around on all the teams, players limping around. It's just going to happen in a long tournament like this.
So Bammert walks off the field. Kai Biederman, 6'5" midi, primarily a D midi, but he will come in and play here. For the Swiss, right off the top, their tremendous midfielder, Louis Seftel, who's from Santa Cruz, California, plays club at San Diego State, who has really been an eye-opening player. Save made low by Paul Walter Diaz. But Seftel is not playing today with the Swiss no longer in contention for the quarterfinals, so they're going to give Seftel at least 1 day off before they try to battle back up towards 9th place, as coaches have been making calculated decisions based on injuries, of course, as we go day to day. On the dodge left, Thomas Gearing turns and shoots, and Walter Diaz again on the stop. However, battle for the ground ball, Aiden Nicholas behind, 15 in white, is able to win it. Casey Riolini. And then Riolini was looking to pass as it was broken up, and Spain's defense, led by Jackson Suarez, Daryl Ritchie, and Fernando Galinas. With the long pole mini, Gustavo Lopez will come up with the clear for the first time. For the Swiss defensively, and it starts with the goalie Andre Bremgartner. Matthias Friedrich with Brandon Kunik, their captain and leader defensively, and Alexander Budmiger. And the long pole mini is Stefan Zweifel. Spain in the attack. John Matthew Boda, Griffin Guerin, and Antonio Marquez Lorente. Matt Napolitano will play midfield here for this one, number 5 with his young legs, high school senior. Feed, he had the cutting Fernando Martinez Sierra, the other midfielder, as well as Ishmael Elbargi Ramiro, as the clear upcoming for the Swiss. And Jeremy Cornes, the D-midi, got it to Riolini. Cornes legging it forward. Riolini with the first 2, playing for his former high school coach at Upper Canada Prep for Max Perrin, and it is 2-0.
It was a nice transitional fast break. At the turnover, and found his open man down at the attack for an open shot. It was a nice bounce shot too.
Switzerland opening up eyes in the very early morning of the first day of action. After the opening day, the first full day of action, which was on July the 10th. And a face-off win captured by Oliver Vouliez, and then actually taken back by Spain and Carlos San Martin. But in the first game, Switzerland took care of Scotland pretty convincingly. And that was like the 3rd game of this tournament. And head coach Max Perrin, native of Toronto, has coached Team Ontario on the club side, but he is strictly a field lacrosse coach with Team Ontario, not a box guy that does some field. And Switzerland ended up going in Israel's Group E. They went 2-2, but they had a win over Scotland and then a loss to Portugal on the last day of the group as they rested some guys, and Portugal played their best game. So Switzerland finished 2-2 to earn the 10 seed. Israel 4-0 out of Group E to capture it and earned a 3 seed. Napolitano. One-hand stab by Griffin Guerin. Guerin moving to attack today to change things up. And the flag is out against Switzerland. And we'll have our first man up.
I saw the end of that Portugal game. It was at a transition. I think they had a steal, a transition, and scored with 5 seconds left in the game.
And that was the loss that Switzerland took in that one. It's a 30-second hold. That was a 10-9 final. That's one of the 5 one-goal games. And then there's also one other overtime game. Oh, what a touch across. Boda in and out of his. Found him, and it's 2-1.
Took quick advantage of that man up.
Well done, talking to head coach Jose Luis Mendoza. Yesterday, they started off fast, did the Spaniards, led Croatia 8-0. 8-1 at half. Croatia looked like a solid team. Croatia was the higher seed. That was the lone upset yesterday in terms of seeds. Spain, the 18, defeating 15 Croatia. And doing so handily. So Spain comes in with some momentum. Gustavo Lopez will win it back. And head coach Jose Luis Mendoza felt we looked fresh. The day before, they got thumped by Germany. But they've spent a lot of time behind the scenes working on themselves. And maybe the most critical thing, Lee Borco, Spain still has all 22 players, and they are very, very healthy. even as they play here on Wednesday.
It's a big key. There's still 3 days left.
Yep, 3 full days, including today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just 3 games on Saturday. Casey Riolini. Switzerland draws to help. The feed for Riolini as it carried through past the stick of Christopher Claessens. As the injured player David Bammert has yet to return. As a jump shot taken by Till Schutze. That's wide of cage. So at the moment, Switzerland down 2 offensive starters. So for Coach Max Perrin, he is going to have to mix and match as we speak, but a crease roll in tight. And it is a goal. Not much celebration there, but the crease roll works. 3-1, Switzerland. That appears like it's Aiden Nicholas that's tying his shoe that had the finish.
He used his size on that one to just bully his way in. Stayed out of the crease, knocked it in.
It was Nicholas, who has lacrosse in his family. His sister played at last year's Women's European Championship in Portugal for Switzerland. Face-off win, Stefan Zweifel, who holds not 1 but 2 PhDs in neurobiology. But he turns it over. Carlos Garcia San Martin, one of the top 2 defensive middies for Spain. As he weaves through traffic and then is bottled up and is going to end up turning it over. So he held on too long. Back of the field, good sign. Here's 24 in white, David Bammert for the Swiss. The pickup by Gearing. And finally, Switzerland can spread the field. Yesterday, they were very patient, but talking to Max Perrin, they just ran out of gas yesterday against France in a great game, 8-7, with teams putting everything out there to try to play in a playoff quarterfinal into the top 8. Now, France lost earlier. They were thumped by England. But once you get into the top 8, you just need to win 1 game somewhere, even in the top 8 losers bracket. You have a chance to win 1 game somewhere to finish in the top 7 and to qualify to play in Japan. Riolini draws the flag, takes it across. The goal is going to count. 3 goals for Casey Riolini, and a second flag coming out against Spain. And now the referee throwing his hat. We may get a non-releasable here. Two minutes is the call. Now, 2 days ago against Germany, Spain spent nearly the entire first quarter playing defense due to non-releasable fouls. This is Jackson Suarez that picks up 2 minutes worth of penalties. And it also means there's no face-off. So they're called dead ball fouls against Spain in frustration following the goal. And here is how things mushroom against the team. Spain just experienced that. Paul Walter Diaz makes the save, and nearly the rebound popped up into the vicinity of the attackman Bammert. Grabbed here by Gearing, turning and shooting. Bammert nearly an empty goal. Paul Walter Diaz retreating back to cage. He was all over the area below goal line. A man up for 2 minutes, non-releasable for Switzerland.
I thought Spain was going to control it, and that would have been a big kill.
Riolini, save made low, Walter Diaz. And Riolini finds his own rebound on his natural grass surface. Till Schutze, shot misses from the high slot. No backup for Switzerland. So it's 4-1 with 3 minutes, 50 seconds left. And Spain will look for a clear. Through Philadelphia native Daryl Hunter. Napolitano. And Napolitano will be tripped up at a flag coming out. An obvious trip against Casey Riolini. One-minute foul against Riolini. So Spain will have a 5-on-5 here. And then perhaps about a 30-second man up at the end of it. Guerin, or rather that's Albargi Ramiro in a 5-on-5, they get the goal. 4-2, so a 5-on-5 goal from Ismael Albargi Ramiro. And he did not want to wait around for the man up to begin. And an aggressive take.
Big momentum swing with that. At the 2-minute unreleasable, and now that they go down the other end and score.
And now Spain with a chance to really get out of this. They need to win a face-off here, which is 2-on-2. From their face-off man, Luis Cordurque Ferrer. And he had it at his feet and overran it. So Dano Riolini will win the face-off. He attended Queen's University of Ontario. And the two brothers having the time of their lives representing Switzerland in this tournament. So the 5-on-5 now turns into a brief 6-on-5, again man up for the Swiss. With the Jackson Suarez 2-minute non-releasable continuing. Outside shot, easy save. Walter Diaz handled the stick.
Yeah, excellent goalie.
And now Hunter will take some time here. And back through safety for Walter Diaz. Dangerous pass through the middle. It carries through. James Bell was searching for it, but the follow-up is all Switzerland on the pickup from Brandon Kunik. Fed quickly into the high crease and diving through the middle. Thomas Gearing with two more flags out. Gearing with a head-first dive. He got a little flip pass as the trail man, like running the floor in basketball. 5-2. The Suarez foul had just ended.
Spain had a chance to kill that penalty and just didn't handle it at the midfield, and it led to a Swiss goal.
Now we're all even, so the two teams exchanging goals. Final seconds of this first quarter. Clock will stop under 30 seconds left in the first three quarters on any whistle. Final 2 minutes of the fourth. Face-off win. Oliver Vouliez from New York City, number 10 in white. Thrilled to be participating in this tournament representing Switzerland, and attends Loomis Chaffee up in Connecticut. Turned over by the Swiss, fired ahead by Spain. And this won't result in anything except the end of the first quarter. Fast start for Switzerland. Two quick goals. 3 in the quarter for Casey Riolini. It's 5-2. Switzerland, the 10 seed, leading 18-seeded Spain at the end of one quarter from Wrocław, Poland. Switzerland with the lead over Spain, 5-2. Start of the second quarter. Ralph Bednarczyk with Lee Borko from the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championships. Out of the championship bracket, this is the consolation portion of that bracket as a face-off win and control by Damian Brandenberger of the Swiss. They are sitting out who's ended up their top player in midfielder Louis Seftel in this game after yesterday's heartbreaking one-goal loss in the 10-7 game to France. Spain, big winners, their best performance yesterday over Croatia, 13-5, but Spain giving up an early goal and then a 2-minute non-releasable penalty, and they have started in a position where they're trying to fight uphill. Here's Aiden Nicholas on the shots. Oh, how nice was that? Just a soft toss, almost a changeup that beat Paul Walter Diaz.
That was nice. He went to that opposite top corner. I think the goalie was guessing low, and he just fooled him on that one.
Very nice and comfortable shot for Aiden Nicholas as Switzerland wins that draw. This is a Swiss team that has just 4 players that are not living currently in Switzerland. Only 4 are from the U.S., so they're very proud of that as a country that hopes to ascend to be in a position where they're 100% that way in the next championships that they participate in. Face-off win for Dano Rianlini. And someday that could occur. Of course, there's a lot of expats, ex-Americans, North Americans that live in Switzerland due to the great banking district, and that is certainly a story that is represented well on this team, like Brandon Kunik, who is from upstate New York, captain of Switzerland. He now works for KPMG and found himself there in the banking heart of Europe. Driving right and the rip off the stick of Paul Walter Diaz. Long ground ball handled by Spain. And Spain will come up with the clear with one of their teenagers, and James Alejandro Bell.
Let's go defense!
Spain had to cut it to 4-2 on a 5-on-5 goal just to weather the early storm from Switzerland. And among the keys for Jose Luis Mendoza, just like from the Germany game, where they spent a lot of time playing man down in that first quarter, not quite the same volume, but similar issues for Spain and being in the box early in the game. A save made low on Napolitano by Andre Bremgartner. Spain will keep possession in this 6-on-6 with 3.5 gone in the second. Griffin Guerin from the angle. He was smothered well by Switzerland's defense. Goaltending has been tremendous, talking to the Swiss staff. Andre Bremgartner there, thrilled with him, and their defense and communication has improved, and they've been a patient offensive team. That's been their script for success in Wrocław. And most notably shown in the Scotland game, which was a slow-tempoed game in the first game. Feed into the front. Napolitano thought he had a cutter, but John Boda fell down. That Scotland game was 8-6, but Switzerland had that game. They played from ahead basically the whole way. Bremgartner, and they'll start to clear here from Mike Henney. And backup defenseman will get it over here for Kai Biederman. They had the cutter to the crease, Nicholas, and the pass batted down. And the Swiss to restart again. Good to see 24 in white David Bammert return after being shaken up. And here on the first midfield is Till Schutze. Schutze nearly going to the splits, keeps possession. And well defended in the recovery by Spain. Spain led Czechia, who is going to be playing in the quarterfinals later today against Italy, 3-2 in one quarter. As an example of their potential and their best performance against Croatia. So Spain has had their moments of high-level play that they have not sustained long enough. Nicholas, partially due to the penalties they're taking. There's a rip through a defender. Till Schutze, shooting as if the defender was not standing there. 7-2.
Might have been a little bit of a screen, but excellent. He went top right on that one. There wasn't much room there, and he knocked it in.
To the inside pipe from that angle too, through the defender. And great skill on the shot. 7-2 Switzerland. Till is from Zurich, the Zurich Lions, one of the most established lacrosse clubs in the country, making his second championship appearance. Switzerland, another face-off win from Dano Riolini. They're in the midst of a 3-goal run. Riolini skips near side. Christopher Claessens. And that, again, that patience that has been exuded here by the Swiss during this tournament. Shot by Biederman. I don't think it got through. I think it went off the defender. Feeling the punishment was Miguel Fernandez Contreras of Spain. And Switzerland will keep it. Ball control. It's been among their mottos. They want to limit possessions. Till Schutze was looking to the backside, but fortunately on this thicker grass, that ball stays in and has been staying in on anything to the corners. So Switzerland will try again.
The turf field, that's long gone. And you can't give up on the grass field. And I've seen some people give up, and the ball stays in.
Finally, Switzerland turns it over. The Swiss thought the sky was the limit on paper. And how quickly they've come together has pleasantly surprised Max Perrin, head coach of Switzerland, and right away to defeat Scotland. And then their goaltending that has been steady and having a style of play of patience on offense. This will be turned over by Andre Bremgartner. And I get the sense they're generally a low mistake team. Max Perrin's hope is as they go later into this consolation bracket, we still have to find guys that want to be aggressive and shoot the ball when it's there. Against better competition, sometimes the best shot you get is only a good one or a so-so one. You might be waiting 8 minutes for a great shot. And particularly as the speed of play increases against better competition. Now both Riolinis on the field, as Dano Riolini here, 29 in white, as he'll get an offensive run. Feeds to the high crease area, well done, a nice slip by Kai Biederman, who provides a substantial target at 6'5", 8-2.
You saw the patience there. They spread everything out, took their time. They had a nice dodge, found him right in the middle. The big guy turned and just shot it in.
A good feed by Kai Biederman, another member of the Zurich Lions.
That's where the patience paid off.
Dano Riolini on the assist. And Dano Riolini wins the faceoff. Off to brother Casey, and Switzerland comfortably building an 8-2 advantage past the midway point of the second quarter. And they've methodically separated. The early good start for the Swiss. They lost David Bammert for a few minutes, still didn't bother them. And offensively, thought the key word as I discussed the offense with Max Perrin was flow and continuity in addition to the patience. There is perhaps the first impatient shot lead. Till Schutze took the shot. About a 12-yard sweep across the top. And finally, Spain given a chance to take a timeout.
He went high to high on that, and it just played catch with the goalie. But other than that, like the last series, they were very patient and got an easy goal.
4:05 left, and certainly a team that's difficult to play because of that style. 4:05 to go, first half. 8-2 is our score. As Switzerland has come together quite quickly, 2-2 in pool play, then losing yesterday, so they're 2-3 overall in the tournament. But have looked very good and integrated a couple of young players from North America like Oliver Vouliez and Louis Seftel that have both made tremendous impact in their first tournaments representing Switzerland. And the steadiness of Andre Bremgartner in goal. And their recipe of success has been written. And meanwhile, for Spain, major peaks and valleys to how they have played, personified by the Czechia game where they dropped off a lot. And they got hurt in the middle of the field in ground balls. And Czechia was able to run away from Spain.
Spain, you know, they're a real hustle team. Their actual depth probably is what hurts them against these type of teams. They'll stay in there. They'll look really good. But, yeah, so there's certain areas that they're just lacking. And other teams like the Swiss will take advantage of that.
That game against Czechia finished 13-5, but as I said, 3-2 Spain after one quarter. Was one of the more notable kind of little windows of time against quality competition, where you've seen some of the developing countries and against some of the contenders.
Spain definitely has some talent, some real excellent talent in goal.
Antonio Marquez Lorente. Napolitano finds himself open. Low save made by Bremgartner. Napolitano probably had 2 more steps towards goal in him. Took the long distance shot. And now Switzerland looking to come with the ground ball. Andreas Knechtel. Long pass ahead. It'll be turned over to Fernando Galinas. And Galinas trying to hockey stick it to himself, but swooping in for it is Jeremy Cornas as he is tackled, and then late flags coming out. Both officials looking at one another. Cornas the one taken down. Napolitano is going to go in for a 1-minute trip. I think Spain lobbying that there was much more incidental contact than an actual intentional knockdown.
I think he tried a little wrap check there and just got a little low, and it was definitely a trip.
More possession time for Switzerland, another man up. They were man up for a minute and change late first quarter. Gave up a goal 5-on-5. Nicholas throws back, Casey Riolini. Bammert will take the shot. Oh, he roofs it. 9-2.
Great shot, opposite top corner. Very difficult. You don't have a lot of room to get it in. It's got to be a perfect shot. That was excellent.
The ball exploding out of David Bammert's stick. from Baden, Switzerland. And he goes back to the Swiss, going back to the 2018 World Championships. So after he took a knock and left, and has returned, and Switzerland getting tremendous balance. Riolini, Dano Riolini, had the face-off for a second. Six different goal scores for the Swiss in this first half. Now they have possession again for the final 90 seconds. Dano Riolini in the X, and you can see how well-rounded they are.
You can see the inexperienced Spain. They had the ball, two players right there, and then just threw it away.
Claessens. And then this pass sails through between a couple of Swiss players. Casey Riolini the closest to it as the feed came back from X. And the first real unforced error in a settled offense by Switzerland. Inside the final minute, 40 seconds left. And Griffin Guerin trying to get something initiated. Oliver Vouliez not allowing him to breathe. Vouliez played very well yesterday against Justin Rosenberg of France as they matched up him along with the other long stick committee, the starter Stefan Zweifel, try to contain one of the top athletes in this tournament, Rosenberg of France. Napolitano with 15 on the timer. Swings to Griffin. They look for the cutter inside. Candido Cantalejo now in the crease. Napolitano with 2 seconds and had no angle. Wonderful defense. Finished off by Claessens of Switzerland, and it is 9-2 Switzerland at the end of one half of play. The Swiss with 5 straight, and they shut out Spain in the second quarter 4-0. Switzerland, the 10 seed, heartbroken yesterday. They've come out determined, and they have played steadily in this matchup against 18th seeded Spain. We're coming back in 10 minutes to bring you the second half from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV at the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championships.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots, and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
hockey.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
God, man, you continue to be, gosh,
Yeah, I do.
extreme pleasant surprise. Yeah. Wow, you and Uncle are having tremendous tournaments in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tremendous. So I wish I had a chance to actually look at what you do, but that's my I can evaluate things without needing to do all the homework.
Yeah. I gotta get film this from the Swiss.
Up speed! Let's go!
Start of the second half from Wrocław, Poland. A 9-2 advantage for Switzerland continues with a face-off win from Dano Riolini. The Swiss, the 10 seed, leading 18-seeded Spain in the consolation portion of the championship bracket. Two teams playing to finish as high as 9th. Winner will take on the winner between the Scotland-Netherlands game, which is taking place very soon. Tomorrow, the loser will take on the loser of that Scotland-Netherlands game. So there's a chance for a rematch for Scotland and the Swiss. So that will be fascinating. Kai Biedermann, feet in front and unable to get a clean look at goal, was the cutter for the Swiss, Thomas Geering. There has yet to be a rematch so far in this tournament, but I think tomorrow there's going to be a couple. And Scotland, Switzerland would be fascinating. The Scots felt they played horrendous against the Swiss in game one, 8-6. Just did not play with the intensity. Talking to head coach Matt Bagley about that, but you give the Swiss a lot of credit. Their patience on offense, ball control, steady play forces teams into frustration. Underway into third, Ralph Bednarczyk with Lee Borko on hand. Sunny afternoon again in Wrocław, but there was rain late afternoon yesterday. Bammert with a tough take. He's able to curl and take it in front, 10-2. Second of the game for David Bammert. His first goal was a tremendous snipe. A shot just inside the near pipe on Paul Walter Diaz. This one also very good. Off the face-off, the pursuit of Spain, and Carlos Garcia, the D-mid, as he's able to come up with it. Well, I think if you're Jose Luis Mendoza, the first point he makes is you must stay out of the box at halftime. Just doing too much of that. They've got to be able to win and get a little bit more even on the face-offs. And Spain has just not had enough possession. First possession for Spain of the third quarter. And otherwise, Lee, what do you think head coach Max Perrin of Switzerland probably told his guys up 9-2 at the break?
Usually, if you're up, that you don't want to let up. You want to keep your game plan going on. Because I've seen teams let up a little, and then they start getting sloppy, throwing the ball all around. And that's not good going forward to the next game.
Now in goals, the backup Jacob Thorne. After Andre Bremgartner got the first half, so Max Perrin feeling very comfortable. And look at a nice save by Thorne on the turnaround roll up top by Ismael El Bargi Ramiro. Transition chance here for Andreas Nechtel, and Nechtel's got a pole goal.
Those poles don't always want to be attacks or middies. But that was nice. Nobody really picked him up. He just took it coast to coast on that one.
Well, Spain was daring him to shoot, and Nechtel held on to it an extra step or two before he had no choice but to shoot. And that's about completing all the various components that Switzerland has done well in this game. Riolini, as this ball is chopped forward, and the pickup here by Dano Riolini. So the second half is picked up where the first half left off. More Switzerland possession and patience.
Switzerland's also winning the ground ball battle, and that's huge because they keep possessions, but they're definitely winning that battle. And scrappy. Multiple guys are in there to get the ball, and they retain possession.
Drive from Chris Claessens. Riolini scored 3 of the first 4 goals. Freed his hands briefly. Daryl Hunter with the fine takeaway. Trail check from behind. Longtime club coach. And now the Seattle area and high school coach, 30 in maroon. And he understood exactly what Casey Riolini was doing. And then the one calm late trail check, and he had the stop.
Yeah, as soon as he brought the stick back to shoot it, he knew exactly where it was going to be and checked him from behind.
Spain had cut it to 4-2. Including having a 5-on-5 goal. Napolitano, he slips down. Guerin forced well outside, extended GLE. Napolitano to redodge against the other short stick D-Mini. And the feed forced into Boda. That was never really open. And now Switzerland hoping to capture a ground ball. This is forced by Matthias Friedrich in the corner. Trying to force it up the line. Now in a 3-on-3 scrum. Friedrich reaches. Hold is called against Switzerland. They'll get Kai Biederman on the call.
Guerin has been held in check by the Swiss. They know he's an excellent player, a lot of speed, but it looks like they're sliding to him quickly and making him pass the ball off.
Napolitano using a Guerin screen, hits the pipe with the shot. Well, Napolitano took a deeper curl cut shot late in the first half from probably about 12 yards. This one was much closer. And a ringer off the pipe in Wrocław. We'll hit 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Spain has gone scoreless for about 19 minutes. And this shot misses by Griffin Guerin. Rebound outside Napolitano. This time he uses the grass. Beating Jacob Thorne 11-3.
He finally broke through there and missed the shot, but Spain got the ball back and hit a nice lefty shot at the top into the low corner.
Matt Napolitano still very fresh for a high schooler in the high school class of 2026, attending Iona Prep, located in Westchester County. Been fun watching him play. And I'd love to ask, when I have a chance, Lean, to run into some of these high schoolers, to ask what this experience has been like. And the ground ball picked up here by Dano Riolini. Compared to playing club lacrosse, which is what they would be doing if they were not in this tournament. That's what all their friends and high school teammates are doing. And there's a lot of team with multiple high school age players, Slovakia being one of them that comes to mind. and what this experience has been like as Daryl Hunter is all over Riolini, forces the ball on the ground, and the call against Riolini. So another good play, second good defensive play made of this quarter by Daryl Hunter.
I think for the high school, I mean, it's going to be awakening because you're playing men, but it's probably good because if you're playing at home, you're playing your own age group, and if you're ready to go move on to the next level, you're going to see those players here, and it'd be a great experience. Plus, you get to play for, internationally and all those things you can talk about to all your buddies.
I'm sure they're going to talk about it to their buddy. That's already assumed and built into the equation, Lee Borko. And Team Poland, where your son plays, having two high schoolers, or one that just finished, Maciej Wojcik, and another true high schooler in Sean Brennan as the class of 2026. Flag is down against the Swiss. Room and time for the shots. That's a great look for Antonio Marquez Lorente. It's a 30-second interference against Switzerland, and the man-up will begin for Spain after they just ended what was a 7-goal run, rather. And I think invaluable for the Matt Napolitanos to be around older players, mature players, watch how they work. But Matt Napolitano, he might not be in high school anymore after this tournament. He might be set to graduate and just push him through the system, 11-4.
Talked about telling your friends he's going to be. Did you see that?
He's scoring goals against the 10 seed in the Euros. Matt Napolitano with consecutive tallies in the third quarter. Many coaches have told me, just in the example of Switzerland's Louis Seftel, how much work he has done after dinner when no one is here. There's no one here on the fields. You can come here whenever you want. There's no key card access required with 3:28 remaining, and we have a whistle.
That's how you get better and better with repetition, wall ball, shooting on one of your goalies, anything you can get to improve the game.
Procedure was called on Switzerland on the face-off. That's what the officials, I think, were trying to clarify amongst themselves. And Carlos Garcia will drop it off here for Griffin Guerin. So Spain with some momentum. One of the great things I thought about Limerick, Ireland, Lee, was in 2022 at the Under-21 Championship that Limerick, Ireland hosted at the University of Limerick, where the fields were, there was a handball court, with the big wall, that you see all across the U.S. Feed for Boda from Napolitano could not be grabbed. That probably 9 out of 10 is a goal for Boda. But there was a handball court kind of between the fields. So that was the wall ball court, and Japan in particular, they were there all hours outside their games just wall balling. And that was the one example where I said, that is why Japan has risen to the upper crust of World Lacrosse and is in position to truly challenge the U.S., Canada, Haudenosaunee. They are knocking on the door and certainly could beat Australia very soon because they were wall balling all hours around their meals. There was just no stopping what ended up being a crash course. It's not just about the games, but ended up as a crash course camp. That's what Louis Seftel has been doing of Switzerland to try to greatly improve, and I've heard that story about some others. Now, these fields are open, and these players are welcome to come here in and around their games to work on things. Unfortunately, there's no wall ball, and the building over there would probably take some punishment and cause a lot of noise.
And they might not like that.
Yeah, they may not like it, but that's maybe the last thing they need to build here in Wrocław, a designated handball spot / wall ball location. Biederman. Oh, Biederman, big rollback. Gave it up. And the shot is off target. Good look from Christopher Claessens. He tried to use the grass.
Well, we were in San Diego, and we scrimmaged the Japanese team. They were, I mean, I called them the machine. But after a game, I watched them. They all went down for a full practice after the game.
Yes, yes.
On one of the open fields.
Yes, they are not in the mindset, particularly at a tournament, where they're going to relax. Crease violation against Switzerland, and they're in such good shape going in that they're not worried, I think, as much as the other teams are, Lee, in terms of recovery. They come in prepared to recover. Boda took a hit near the head. Flag is out now late.
Notice they use a whistle to signal things onto the field.
In terms of their play calls.
Yeah.
Oh, that I didn't notice.
Yeah, we noticed that. Now, I don't know if they did. This was a scrimmage, so maybe it was just in the scrimmage itself, that we did beforehand.
Right. I don't think you can do that in the game because that causes havoc. So, but they could start to do the college football aspect, putting up a big wipe-off board. Feed down to the crease again, and 2 missed connections. That's Ismael El Bargi Ramiro that was looking for the pass from Fernando Martinez on the sneak, on the man up. That's 2 sneaks on the crease that Spain has missed. Otherwise, this is a different game. Trying to run out the clock here. There's Brandon Kunik. Final 1 second. Running out the clock, Andreas Nechtel, and that's it for 3/4 of play. 10-seeded Switzerland added 2 more early. Matt Napolitano, both for Spain, the 18 seed. It's 11-4 as we head to the 4th from Wrocław, Poland. Some cloud cover now over us in Wrocław at the start of the 4th quarter. Switzerland, the 10 seed in control, looking to close this final 15 minutes out and perhaps have a rematch with Scotland. Scotland facing Netherlands coming up later. That game is actually in the field on the far side of our camera. You might see the orange, the familiar orange of the Dutch. Winner of that Scotland-Netherlands game
I'm sure
will
they
face Switzerland. And you know Scotland, now that their hearts were broken last night losing to Latvia and not going to go to Japan, you know they would love to get another shot against Switzerland.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, if I'm sure Matt Bagley has told them that as soon as he figured out that that would be the scenario. The head coach of the Scots, he was an Ohio native, to put a carrot in front of his team and to keep their engines revving. And Lee, in these tournaments, the other aspect you hear from coaches is, once you suffer the when you have big expectations and suffer the heartbreak that, we're not going to qualify and finish top 7, as Daryl Hunter will come up with a ground ball. And then the aspect of remotivating your team towards that, I understand that there's a lot of emotional energy and physical energy spent towards that when you still have about 3 games left to play.
I saw that yesterday with our team, and they have to regroup and go, our goal is to finish 9th, which wins the lower bracket, and then you never know. I mean, our teams that
could pull out. I mean, that's not impossible. That's happened before.
Yep.
2023 San Diego, this tournament, Armenia, that can happen. Uganda having to back out 2023. Czechia was not sure that they would be in this tournament until late May, even mid-May, when they really started to have heavy discussions. So that's the way it goes. This is not the NBA, NFL, where things are like that. Oh, what a nice slip pass. Getting a goal, finishing the shot, Antonio Marquez Lorente. What a nice pass thrown by Fernando Martinez, though. 11-5.
We caught him ball watching on that one, and he snuck in behind, get an easy goal. Yeah, it's sometimes it's financial. It's going to be very expensive to go to Japan.
That's what I'm told. I mean, it is. In addition to the area that is going to be taking place, Japan has always been a very expensive country. Some tough decisions will be made. There is 2 years to prepare for it, but
I think that's what happened in San Diego. I don't know if it was Finland or someone else.
Yes, it was
backed
Finland.
Out.
Yep, Finland as well. Finland very earlier in the process. Uganda was very late. Flag down, and Uganda was visa issues. Switzerland with David Bammert. They have a free shot. Well, now play stops for something. I don't know why, but procedure, a flag is down against Spain. And Luis Cordurque Ferrer will take a seat for 30 seconds. Yeah, so that motivation aspect, but I think coaches realize that, look, there are still teams that we've never beaten before, that if we're going to continue to progress as a nation, it has to start by beating some of the teams we haven't yet. And there is still improvement that our young players can make, and certainly honoring the nation that is across the front of our chest should mean a lot too. And of course, for the joy of the game, you expend a year and a half working to be here. So why not play hard in those games and just refocus? Trying to dunk it in, that was Gearing. Gearing, nice pass, getting it from Till Schutze on the wing, on the man up. It's very easy to come up with a reason not to play, but there's also a long list, Lee, I think, as coaches are going to start to come up with to play. Trying to take it across, Till Schutze was stripped. That's Daryl Hunter, I think, again with the stick.
Mostly, I mean, these players don't get paid to come here. They pay to come here.
Yes, exactly.
So there's pride for, country and just your own pride as a player.
And once you hit Sunday, you're either gonna play hard and have nothing to regret, or potentially regret it. What you're waiting at the airport saying, could have taken more advantage of this. Well, this young man is taking every advantage. Matt Napolitano has now scored 3 of the last 4 for Spain. And with 9.5 minutes to go, it is only 11-6. So before Switzerland perhaps relaxes too soon, Napolitano has had other thoughts.
That's what we talked about before. Swiss coach, don't let up. Play your game. You won the first half. Do not let up.
And Spain comes up with the next face-off in Codurque Ferrer. And this is a good timeout for Jose Luis Mendoza with Codurque Ferrer unsure of where to go next. 8:49 left, so hold on a second. Spain, as we talked earlier in the first quarter, has played up to competition well. They have had major spurts. 8-0 yesterday, first quarter against Croatia, who was the better seed, the 15 that they led. Won the game 13-5 and led Czechia 3-2, who's playing in a quarterfinal later today against Italy. So can they find a 9.5-minute stretch? And they really put some pressure on the Swiss, who are playing without their top midfielder and arguably their best player of this tournament in Louis Seftel.
They made a great comeback. They haven't given up, and you want to see that. I'm sure the coach loves that. They never said we're out of this game, and that he called this timeout to settle everything down and say, hey, we get it to 7. Swiss are going to get a little nervous, and in lacrosse you can score very quickly. You win those face-offs, and bang, you're suddenly a 1 or 2 goal game.
The Swiss have already replaced their starting goalie Andre Bremgartner at halftime, as Jacob Thorne getting a chance to play. And with valid reason, it was 9-2. And you love to get everybody in your roster as much playing time as possible. Spain with possession. Napolitano. Feed into the crease for Boda, just short of him. Spain has missed the crease attackman a number of times, but Napolitano, this is why he's playing midfield now. His young legs still have a lot of energy left in him, and he takes the shot going up the field from GLE. Spain having backup. What a significant possession this is with 8 minutes left to try to cut it to 4. John Boda. Up top, Fernando Martinez. Keeps his balance, taking the check from the D midi Cornas. Spain has gotten this game to some meaningful lacrosse as Napolitano now tries from the wing. Bargi Ramiro continues to be chased by D-Midi Damian Brandenberger. Guerin took the bouncer. Again, not much of an angle. Backup keeps it here with Spain. So with no shot clock, they can continue to pepper Jacob Thorne with shots. With the Spain fans on this near side. El Bargi Ramiro ducked his head, and Switzerland has done well to avoid fouling during this long possession. Off it comes for Marquez Lorente. His screener fell down, then he fell down. And it's kicked ahead, and Switzerland is going to come up with the stop. Eventually picking it up is Alexander Budminger.
He was looking for a penalty or a loose ball push on that, but he didn't get it done. That was a long, long possession. They took a lot of good shots on it. They just weren't able to finish.
Timeout taken by Switzerland after that very long possession. So now they can think about how they can try to manage the rest of this clock. Out of the field, head coach Jose Luis Mendoza may be hoping for a call that could have been made in a couple of spots. And he is still pleading his case to the officials. think Spain took 4 shots during that long possession. That was 6-on-6. And Jose Luis Mendoza back to his team to talk it over. It was 5-2 after 1 quarter, 9-2 at halftime. Casey Riolini scoring 3 of the first 4 goals for the Swiss. Established a tone. He would later add an assist. But then Matt Napolitano has scored 3 times in the second half. And Spain, all of a sudden, their energy has changed, realizing they are not far off from this game. Meanwhile, Swiss coach Max Perrin played at Kenyon College in Ohio. Nearly 30 years of college coaching, but a Toronto native. And he has been the head coach of Team Ontario's U19 squad for the last 9 years. He even coached in the small lacrosse world. He has coached Slovakia's goalie, AJ Babiny, in travel lacrosse. Babiny is a high schooler that will play in the fall at Bryant in Rhode Island. And he's coached many players that have gone on to play U.S. college, professionals in the PLL, and the 10-man ride was on, or at least the pressure was on, by Paul Walter Diaz, and missing the empty cage was Aiden Nicholas. So that's what Spain devised there. You won't often see that. I don't think Aiden Nicholas realized the net was empty right away.
It was wide open, and he just kind of flipped it over there thinking that he was wide. That was a smart move by Spain to go that way.
And now Suarez back to Paul Walter Diaz, who is in his crease. So they were able to come out and double the ball and use the athleticism of Paul Walter Diaz. Dare Switzerland to shoot, and then Spain gets the ball back. Jackson Suarez down to Boda, so back to where we were 2 minutes ago. But now 5.5 left in a 5-goal game. Guerin. And he's cut off there. Good recovery by Alexander Budmiger. Then this shot is wide and back up here with Switzerland. 5 minutes even left.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. He had an open shot, but there was no backup.
Go back to the couple of earlier chances in the third quarter where Spain could have had even more. A pass from Napolitano did not connect with Boda. There was another pass that came to the crease, and Spain probably could have gotten to 6 goals in the third quarter alone. But Switzerland was ready to play, led 5-2 at the end of 1. Another nice touch from Aiden Nicholas. Well, he just missed the empty cage. And Nicholas has scored on 2 sort of warm-up shots, Lee Borko, one with each hand, change-ups that he has thrown at Paul Walter Diaz.
He liked that matchup. He's a good-sized kid. So he used his body, got in there, and he didn't have a lot of angle, and found the right hole in the goal.
He certainly understands the concept of placement versus a lot of miles per hour. Off the face-off, a Swiss player, and took a shot in the head region. And this is Dano Riolini that's shaken up. Actually, they're evaluating his elbow. Oh, the face-off guys have taken brute punishment in a collision sport like this. And not just playing every day, but folks around the world not realizing that there are times where you might play a late morning, early afternoon game after a night game. It might sound like it's 1 day of recovery, it's barely that kind of recovery.
Face-off, they put out a ton of energy on the face-off. And the scramble and all that, you think, oh, they're going to come off and rest. No, I see them extremely exhausted, and it's good to have a couple different face-off.
And they run the wheel. Boda is able to feed off to the wing, and the shot hit by Ismael Bargui Ramiro. Go back to a 5-goal game at 12-7.
Cup ball watching a little bit. Maybe after they got the goal, they kind of relaxed a little bit. But Spain took advantage.
Meanwhile, with number 1 faceoff man Dano Riolini still having his elbow looked at.
Let's go!
So the next faceoff man to take it is Kai Biederman. And Max Perrin will spend the timeout with 2:47 left, up 5. So he doesn't need any more goals, but he needs his team to manage the rest of this clock and come out healthy. And hope for the best with Riolini, who looks like he's still trying to shake off that elbow injury. And Max Perrin spending the timeout. He lives in Toronto with his 2 sons and having a chance to coach this Switzerland team to unprecedented heights. And then they'll go over and watch the Netherlands and Scotland to see if they'll have a rematch with a highly motivated Scottish team that if Switzerland surprised them in game 1, they are going to get a thunderstorm from the Scots if they see one another again. So there wouldn't have to be a lot of motivation for the Swiss to get themselves ready for the buzzsaw that they would be going into.
I'm sure they're ready for that game to get back to. I mean, I'm sure the rivalry, that rivalry too. They weren't happy losing that game, but they may have that opportunity now to get back at them, and I'm sure against the Netherlands they're going to have high energy and really motivated to get there.
Yep, that's going to be a great clash. It was a game I was looking forward to potentially seeing if I was going to be on it myself, but there are 12 games in a day, and there's always in all of them that you can find something interesting. 12 more games tomorrow. You can check it out here on YouTube via Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. To check out the schedule, morning, day, and night. Games starting at 9 a.m., last game at 7 p.m. So you could schedule your meals around lacrosse. Almost the same thing on Friday. Feed out of the timeout by Aiden Nicholas. Could not be made, looking for gearing, and Spain comes up with it. And they'll throw it forward and have a chance to run with Gustavo Lopez. Then that pass dropped by Griffin Guerin. Guerin with a one-hand shovel. He tried to jam it over Jacob Thorne, and Thorne is out of his crease to handle cleanly and get it ahead for Claessens. Nearing 2 minutes to go. Risky shot taken by Guerin, but into the circumstances, trailing by 5, needing that shot to go. Now under 2 minutes left. And a flag is down, and 7 men on the field against Spain. Switzerland will have to keep it in, and then Switzerland will go up, men up with a 30.
I thought they were going to run as much clock off, but they're still attacking the goal.
A late offsides to what has been mostly a clean game. Yeah, I was talking with head coach Jose Luis Mendoza about Spain. In addition to the recovery time, the pace of play does get faster, he believes, later in the tournament because offenses are more connected. They can move the ball quicker, or at least it should, compared to what it is in the first 2 to 3 games. As there's a shot by Bammert wide. So now you have to defend at a quicker pace, even though your body may have worn down. So that goes back again to the conditioning that these players have to come into this tournament already having. Bammert, man up, misses short side.
These teams don't. They have a few practices and scrimmages beforehand, and so yeah, as they start playing more games and more time together, they should be more efficient. I've seen that, but I also starting to see a lot of players limping around with cramps or
exactly that's really, it's, you get both ends of the spectrum, I think, later in the tournament. So the teams that have both good luck and came in with supreme physical conditioning can move the ball even quicker as each day passes on the offensive end. And the overlying theme is the defenses are ahead of the offenses in the first couple of games. Bammerts gets a third try on this attack. The man up had ended, and Bammert hits his third perimeter shot, and he has 3, 13-7.
That's an excellent rip shot.
Bammert has hit corners with precision shooting for his 3 goals. 36 seconds left, and 13-7 could be the likely final. And Spain will get prepared to also go watch Scotland, Netherlands beat each other up. Face off for Carlos Garcia. And Hunter pivots, and on a hop to Fernando Martinez, who's going to be taken down in an obvious call. Flag against Jeremy Cornas. So we'll have a late man up here for Spain. But for Switzerland, what a satisfying win this will be. The emotional heartbreak over losing a 1-goal game yesterday in the 10-7 matchup against France. Decision to sit Louis Seftel, to give him a day off, arguably their top player. And yet Switzerland spreads the wealth nicely. They remained in their system of patience. There's a goal. Antonio Marquez Lorente with his second, 13-8.
Spain didn't give up at all. They're going, they understand the game. They don't have enough time to get back in the game, but you take that to the next game.
7 seconds left. And Switzerland was able to give Andre Bremgarter, their starting goalie, the second half off, get Jacob Thorne in. And that's set up for what should be, above anything else, a very intense battle, potentially with Scotland tomorrow. Switzerland picks up their 3rd win of this tournament. And the 10 seed will advance, taking care of 18-seeded Spain. 13-8 is our final score. That'll do it for everybody here. For my partner Lee Borko, a pleasure. My name is Ralph Bjornchik saying so long and goodbye. Spain led by Matt Napolitano's 3 goals. 3 goals and an assist from Casey Riolini, all in the first half to pace Switzerland in this win. 13-8 is the final. You've been watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championships from World Lacrosse TV and Lax TV.
obviously sort of here, 3 goals, so they were playing without Louis Sefko, SCFTL, probably their best player today. After losing yesterday in heartbreaking fashion to France, they know they can't qualify as a fan. After yesterday's heartbreaking loss to France, today Louis Sefko doesn't play. How did you guys come out today? Voted with yourself to play a solid record.
I'm joined here on the sidelines by #1 John Bota of Spain in their defeat to Switzerland today. John, you coach in the New York area. What has it been like on this team to sort of coach on the field?
It's been an honor, one to represent the Spanish nation, but also to kind of bring my knowledge and New York presence to the Spain game. We play with a lot of passion, and I try and emphasize the kind of movement and realization of good lacrosse in the States, bringing that over here and trying to combine that with the team over here. So we do a really good job of using the Spanish culture as well as, trying to bring my New York knowledge of the game to here. So
now, #5, Matt Napolitano, one of the youngest players on your team. How has he, in a sense, grown up throughout this tournament?
I mean, he's taking the reins. I've been, trying to give him and mentor him as much as I can, but, he has all the tools and all the knowledge that he needs. So it was more of just getting him to feel comfortable on the field, and then once he felt comfortable, he took over and is really taking the reins.
One more time, this is John Bota from Team Spain in their defeat to Switzerland here at the 2025 European Men's Lacrosse Championships.
Nicholas, number 15 from Switzerland, after a big win over Spain. Aiden lost yesterday to France. You also lost one of your guys, Seftel. How did you readjust to playing without him, and how the offense do?
Yeah, obviously Lewis is a super key part of our team, and we're super bummed to not have him. He does a lot for us, and I think this team definitely takes pride in working together and everyone eats type mentality. So just put our guys where they need to be, and everyone can make some plays, and that's kind of what we did. But yeah, can definitely not be overstated how we miss Lewis. I hope he's back later.
And you had a hat trick today, a great game. You obviously play for Team Switzerland, but your sister also plays for Team Switzerland. So tell me, what does it mean to your family as a whole to play for Team Switzerland in lacrosse?
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, we love lacrosse as a family. She's a great workout partner and shooting partner. She's a huge motivation for me and inspiration. So to come out here and play for the nationality is really cool, and to be able to share that experience with her is extra special.
Thank you. As number 15, Aiden Nicholas from Switzerland, after defeating Spain in the European Men's Lacrosse Championships here in Wrocław.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick. Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.